What's going on, everyone? It's Mike and John back again. Quick start fire preview. It's Crystal Palace against Everton at Selhurst Park. John, over to you.
Brilliant. This is a game that is going to be tough. We're going to play because we both got to have our tea. No, joking. Listen, this Everton go up against a team who've lost 1 in 4. They've put a bit of a run together. Granted, I think they've only won 1. They drew 2 out of that, but they've had a couple of tough games against an Everton team that haven't won in 3. So, they've had a few players out injured lately. He's been bringing them off the bench in the league game. So I expect them to play tomorrow. Good quality players, the likes of Elise, I think he's one of them. So I don't know what changes Sean Dyche can make to improve the performance, especially the Wolves one, compared to what changes Palace can make. It's a game I'm worried about. And I know I'll probably get shot down for this. It's a game I'm not too fussed about.
Yeah. So first and foremost, it's a game that me and John will be doing a watch-along for here on the Blue Boys Network. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button, and you'll be able to get engrossed in the action, the deep carnage that will be me and John talking about the game as we get decimated by Elise and Eze and whoever else, Jordan Ayew and anyone else.
Yeah.
Mateta, anyone.
No, that's what worries me.
Palace, I think, have won 2 games since November the 2nd. I think it is. I don't think they've won lots of games this season.
They haven't won lots of games. They drew quite a few, and I think that they've lost 1 in the last 4, but I think out of that they've had 2 draws as well.
Yeah. So, we're going up against a bit of a hit and miss Palace side. One where the manager doesn't quite know if he's solid in his job or he's being touted around to leave. You've got a group of fans that they're fed up of what I would probably call mediocre football with players that they've probably got.
We're talking about O'Sear Palace fans.
What are you saying?
Are we talking about O'Sear or Palace fans?
Well, we're talking about Palace for the moment.
Oh, it sounds like us.
Is that all right? Who do you think you are?
Because the way you said that, but it's a set of fans who don't know whether they're watching mediocre football. I'm thinking it could be any of us. It could be Palace or Everton fans.
It's not Everton. We play sensational football with the manager that gets the tactics spot on and substitutions right at all the right times.
Yeah. And if there's any Palace fans doing a YouTube preview for this now, they're probably saying exactly the same about Everton.
It's quite funny because I'm actually doing a Crystal Palace preview with one of the lads, Rich, from one of the podcasts that we do on a Monday, and Beat the Drop. And I honestly don't know what he's expecting, and I don't really know what I'm expecting from Everton. This is a game that, as you rightly said, I think I am bothered. You said that you're not necessarily bothered. I think I am bothered because I want to get back to winning ways, but it's certainly not the end of the world if we lose this game. It really isn't.
Well, we've got bigger fish to fry. We haven't won in 3 games in the league, and we all know about the points deduction, and we'll have to see what happens there. But listen, I know you're going to say this is negative, but it's a competition we're not going to win anyway. And I know people are out there, they'll go, well, you never know, we won't win it. Because the bigger teams take this more serious than what they take the Carabao Cup. So we won't win it unless we're really lucky and we get easy draws all the way. As Michael said, it's a game he wants to see us win. Obviously, I want to see us win. I want to see us win the trophy. But,
yeah.
I don't know why I'm feeling like that, because I'm never like that. But I think it's just the performance from Wolves, and and we were unbeaten in 4, and then we haven't done anything in 3. So
yeah, and the problem is as well, and I don't know whether you agree with this, but usually in January, even when we expect it to not be massively busy, I do get my hopes up in January. I'm always like, oh, yeah, who are we going to sign? We're going to bring in someone. We already know it's going to be quiet. We already know that it's probably going to be any incomings are going to be the result of outgoings. You know, Ben Godfrey has been linked with a move away today. The £9 million ridiculous. It'd be more than that, but he's been linked with a move away. Then you've got other players in the team that could leave. Andre Gomez is one of them. You know, he's only got 6 months left of his contract. You just sort of sit there and you think, I do feel like because our squad is so thin, we could do with freshening it up. And then we're going into this game against Palace, and I'm sitting there thinking, we've just come off the back of an absolute battering. Like, it was horrible. That game was horrible at Wolves. It was, in my opinion, it was the worst performance of the season. It was worse than the Villa game. It was shocking. So I've got no real confidence going into this game. Like, I really don't. I don't sit there and think that, you know, our goal scorers are going to get goals. You know, I've been worried about Doucouré and his fitness, and, you know, I've been worried about us getting done at right back. I don't have any, which is mad. I don't have any worries at left back with Mykolenko. I don't worry at all about him, but I do worry that we're good enough to stay in the Premier League. We are. I know Luton are playing decent football, but as soon as Ross Barkley picks up an injury, which he will, Luton will fall off the planet. Ross Barkley at this moment in time is single-handedly keeping them in the same stratosphere as Everton. But as soon as he goes, Luton will be finished. And I'm very sorry if there's any Luton fans that watch this, but I don't care, because your two biggest fan channels come after me. And I couldn't give a toss if you don't like me, to be quite frank. But the simple fact of the matter is, I'm not worried about getting relegated. But as you rightly say, John, I'm also not expected to win a cup. I'm not sitting here thinking Everton are going to get to Wembley. The best chance we had, and Nana decided to, I don't know what he was doing, you know. He was doing a little pirouette, a little pseudo, and then a little bit of dancing, and then puts the ball straight into the keeper's hand. I
think I'm scarred from that still.
I am. And I think the team are. I genuinely think the team are. And me and you said we wanted a reaction. Now, we did get a reaction in the second half against Tottenham. Was that more Sean Dyche saying, come on, lads, you're better than this. You're better than this. Give it a go. Getting an early goal early. The fact that we had a goal disallowed when we, you know, was it more that we just managed to get ourselves going? And then in the Man City game, you go 1-0 up, you're buzzing, you're absolutely flying, but we couldn't hold on to that level. We went to Wolves and we just shot to pieces.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen since Anana decided to, I'm going to say, fuck it up for us and fuck it up for us fans. There's been inconsistency, hasn't there? Yeah. You know what I mean? And before that, it was all looking good. You know, we were on a good run in the league. We were going there saying, oh, yeah, we'll beat Fulham. We're open for one of the lesser teams in the semis. We're going to Wembley. Yeah. And then fucking Garrett, whatever his name is, what's that Flatley's fella's name who fucking decided to do the hop, skip and jump, fucking stepped up and P-rolled the penalty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it's just put a downer on me. And I don't think I've been like this before, but it's a competition. I know we're not going to win. And we don't know what to expect tomorrow. The way he's talking to Corey could be touch and go. Does he put him on the bench and give him an hour, half an hour? Does he start with him? Personally, I wouldn't risk him because we haven't. I seen a stat the other day of the stats when he doesn't play compared to when he does play.
Yeah.
And the massive gulf is just off the scale. So do you know what? I wouldn't even take him tomorrow. I'd say sit at home, put your feet up, and get ready for the game next Sunday, a week Sunday.
Yeah, because Villa aren't good away from home. They're not very good away from home. So Everton, legitimately, and actually, they've looked like they've struggled of recent, Villa. You know, they've not looked as good as they have been. Yes, I know they ended up clawing something back the weekend, but they've not looked great at all. You know, they drew at home to Sheffield United. So I feel like there's an opportunity at home against Villa. I really do. You know, get a point, get a win. My point is, though, it's a bit weird to be in this situation feeling like this when we've already gone to Palace once and won.
Yeah.
We scored 3 goals as well. It's not like we went there and was, we scored 3 goals. And as long as you can control Eze and Elise, we should be fine. But
this game is going to really, really depend on what 2 teams the managers put out. Whether Palace go strong and, play them 2 players you've just mentioned there, give them game time. And what does Dyche do? Does he bring Beto in and give him a start? Does he give Chimiti a go? Does he go with 2 up front? I doubt it very much. Does he bring Dobbin in? Does he play Danjuma? Does he bring Coleman in? This is a guessing game, this game. But personally, I wouldn't. If this is a trophy that Dyche really wants to take seriously, then you've got to play the majority of your strongest team, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think Dyche is probably thinking what we're thinking, Michael. We've had a lot of games over Christmas. We have had a few injuries. Is he thinking, I know it's wrong for a manager to think that, but deep down, is he thinking like me and you? It's a competition we're not going to win. Give a couple of the fringe players a go. Start Gomez again. Do you know what I mean?
What would your team be in this game?
I think he plays Pickford. I think he plays Mikalenko. I think he plays Michael Keane again. I've got a feeling he might take Tarkowski out. He probably put Godfrey there with Michael Keane. And I think Coleman plays at right back.
Yeah.
Danjuma on the left. It's the midfield for me. James Garner, does he stick with him? I don't know. I'm stuck. I'm really stuck. Do you know what I mean? I think he keeps with Jack Harrison. I think he takes Matthew out. I think he starts with Beto up front. So I don't know what goes in the middle because I think the Garner guy is still out. So I don't think he's got much option but to play an Arna.
Or Gomez.
I don't think he plays Gomez and James Garner together like that.
It's tough, isn't it? Because I don't know. We started Gomez and James Garner and Onana against Man City, and for the first 45 minutes we were fine.
Yeah, this game is because of the midfield. We've seen it at Wolves. It got overrun. Right now, Palace have players who are capable of doing exactly the same thing, overrunning you in midfield. You've got wingers who can get at the fullbacks. Do you know what I mean? You've got Jordan Ayew who still scores goals. So if we set up the way we did against Wolves or have the same mentality or just don't turn up for the game, it worries me we'll see another Wolves performance.
Yeah, so I'll tell you my team. They're quite similar, really. I go for Pickford in goal, Mikalenko. I think he'll play Keane, Godfrey. I still think he might stick with Patterson at right back because I think he might. I think he said that Young is touch and go, did he, for the weekend? For the weekend. So
no, he said he's touching cloth. He's at the runs or something.
Brilliant, delightful. And John was there to lap them up. I go with a midfield team of James Garner and Andre Gomez. I'll go with Danjuma on the left. I go with Jack Harrison on the right, and I'll go with Chimiti playing just in front of Beto.
I actually think Beto would probably be better in that role than being up front.
I agree, because if he can pick up the ball and run with it, he's quite dangerous. It's just
he pick the ball up and run with it. He's got the defenders pulling them over. Then it leaves Chimiti there to take the chances. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
and the other Dominic Calvert-Lewin in this. Does he rest him?
Yeah, I think he does. And the other player that I think
could play him, hoping he gets the goal for his confidence.
Yeah, I don't know if he does, John. I mean, as much as he's got no confidence, I haven't got any confidence. No. And it's horrible to say that because I have defended Calvert-Lewin for a long, long time. I really have. I've been one of his. I've been one of the people that have said, he's not very good at one-on-ones, but in the air and commanding, he's been great. But in the last 9-10 games, 8, whatever it is, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that Calvert-Lewin. Even the Lewin that come back from injury this season, when I think he's got 4 in 6.
Than what he is now.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I think, to be honest with you, and I said this on the video the other day, that that when we broke it down after Wolves, the 2 players who we don't really sing praises of, obviously everyone knows the 2 of them, and I did say, listen, I'm not saying he's the best striker in the world, and he's changed my opinion. But when I look at it in hindsight, he's very isolated, and especially when Decore doesn't play there, he may be better and he might take more chances. He might make himself more available for the ball or run the channels when he's got Decore back with him. So it is a hard job playing up front on your own, do you know what I mean? But I still think he could give us more doing that job as well.
Yeah, I just worry about it, John. I just worry about just him in general. And the other player that we haven't mentioned is Lewis Dobbin, who equally could start this game instead of Jack Harrison.
I don't think he does.
No, I don't either, but
I think there's a chance Lewis Dobbin could go out on loan in January, and I don't know why. If he does that, I don't know why he would do that, because the squad is threadbare as it is. But I don't see us, as you said, we're linked with centre-backs, Michael. We've been linked with centre-backs on social media, and a couple of the media outlets are linking us with centre-backs. We don't need centre-backs. We need a winger, or we need a central midfielder. We don't need centre-backs. If you've got any sort of money to spend, whether it be on wages or whether it be on player transfers, don't waste it on a centre-back. We don't need... I'm not saying our centre-backs are the best in the world. We've got Michael Keane here and Ben Godfrey, who is not the same player. But we need a ball-carrying central midfielder before anywhere else on the pitch, in my opinion.
Yeah. Another thing, just to briefly mention, I think his name is Martin Ziegler, and he does a lot of work for European press, and I know he's been involved in the Telegraph for a few years now, and he's come out and he's basically said that he thinks Nottingham Forest are going to get a points deduction, and by all accounts, I think the Telegraph have recently reported that they also think they're going to get a points deduction. So that's going to be a 10-point deduction based on what they hit us with. Surely it's got to be the same. But we've also been mentioned that we could potentially face another FFP charge, and I don't understand how.
Yeah, Everton won't get hit with another charge for the simple fact of the matter is they've been able to factor the Anthony Gordon money into the latest figure that they've put in, which was 50 million or whatever it was. Reading Paul, he's Marmite for a lot of people. Him can be quite negative, but I think he knows his shit, that side of stuff. Yeah. He's not expecting it. Alan Myers isn't expecting another points deduction. Peter Maguire was on TalkSport today, and they were talking about Nottingham Forest. He actually doesn't think Forest will get hit with a points deduction.
Oh, really?
He doesn't think anyone's going to get hit. But listen, the difference with this is Nottingham Forest financial fair play investigation is around the 457 players they signed in one season. You know what I mean? Whereas ours was a completely different kettle of fish, where we tried to factor the stadium costs and COVID into our figures. So it's a completely different thing. So if they do get found guilty, that's on the playing side. So realistically, they should get more than 10 points.
Yeah.
So, but it's going to be done in the next 2 weeks, do you reckon? This is going to be a quick decision for the teams who they're looking into. And Nottingham Forest were mentioned on the radio, Everton were another one, and also Chelsea. Chelsea will get away with it because they put their players on 8-year contracts, which you can't do anymore, but they've done it.
Yeah, Everton apparently are considering a move for Michy Batshuayi on a
The fourth season on the run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see how he guarantees you goals. And the other player we've been linked with, John, just to throw these in, because the video will finish soon, but Jesse Lingard, we've been linked with Lingard as well.
It won't happen.
Yeah.
I don't like Sean. He's not the Sean Dyche player. You know, he's more interested in his TikTok videos and stuff like that. Sean Dyche doesn't like shit like that. Do you know what I mean? He got the move to Forest. He was on massive wages at Notts Forest. Didn't get a sniff there. Poor attitude.
Yeah.
What did it tell you about a player who's played for Man United? You don't play for Man United if you're a shit player. But since he's come from there, obviously he had the bits going on and what have you. But he's had quite a few chances at different clubs and hasn't grasped it. So I don't see that one happening.
Yeah, no, I agree as well.
And I hope it doesn't happen, to be fair.
No, I would love a striker, but I just don't see how.
Strikers are hard to come by.
And well, John, we spent 44 million. I mean, we're going to have to pay that at some point. You know, it's fine not paying it this season, but we are going to have to pay it at some point. And 44 million pounds for strikers, who Chimiti, he's a young lad, he's got a lot to learn. Fair enough. But Beto's got a lot to prove to me for 30 million. And at this moment in time, I'm concerned that none of the strikers are going to deliver. And, you know, I know this is a Palace preview, but I have major concerns about scoring goals without Takore in this team. Like, I really do worry.
Well, we've said that the other day because we haven't got wingers who score constantly, have we? We haven't got midfielders who score constantly. Takore is probably our best scoring midfielder. And we haven't got a striker there where you can guarantee he'll get you 12, 15 goals a season. So there's not enough goals in the team. And you're quite right with what you say. You single certain players out there. And I have no confidence that them individuals will score us enough goals for us to push on and do anything. And I know people will go, well, without the 10-point deduction, we'd be 12, 13, 14. Is that good enough for us, though, when you've spent 40-odd million pounds on strikers? No, it's not, when they're not hitting a barn door. So I have no faith in them players pushing us on at all, and I certainly wouldn't be paying 30 million pounds for Beto. Not a chance, because as you say, he's got a lot to prove to me.
Yeah, great. Score prediction?
Right, we're going to have to do this. 3-1 Palace.
Yeah, I'll go 1-1.
It's not a replay neither. It goes to extra time, you know, I think.
Yeah, I'll go 1-1, and then, I mean, if it goes to penalties, we lose. So, I mean, you know, if people want a positive match preview, don't watch this. I'm glad I've told you that after 23 minutes and not the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of Everton fans feeling like us, Michael. So, yeah, we probably will get a few more people saying what's such a negative review. But at the end of the day, when you look at it, I don't have much hope, and I don't think there's many Everton fans that do. I've seen all kinds of tickets flying around for tomorrow, Michael. You know what I mean? And if this was a game where 3,000 Everton fans or whatever it may be were really confident, them tickets would be snapped up. Yeah. I was going, I had tickets and I cancelled them, and I've been drawn the short straw again. Thursday night at Palace, 8 o'clock kickoff. You know, you're leaving at 11, 12 to get there. You're getting home at 4, 5, 6 in the morning. Yeah. And the reason for it is because there's 11 games in the capital this week, FA Cup games, and they made Everton suffer. What's that for you?
There you go. Spot on. Guys, right, we will leave it there. Keep smiling, everyone. This has been your match preview for Everton against Palace at Selhurst Park. Join me and John for the watch along from John will be there between 7:45 and 8. I'll be there at 7:45 on the dot, ready to
what a morning.
We'll see you soon, mate. Remember, guys, the game is on ITV4 as well. It is on telly somewhere. If you've got ITV4, I don't know where that is. Honestly, they've just paused with ITV pause next to the porno channels, and it's just at the ends. Don't get confused with the volume and the up and down on the program number, will you? Jesus Christ, the kids are all there watching that. What's going on here?
Right. We will see you tomorrow, folks. Have a lovely evening, and we will try and be a bit more positive tomorrow.
Yeah, 4-0 up the Toffees.